One more video for tonight. Man, I'd forgotten about this record. A Lost 45 from my fancy playlist of December 20th, 1981, about a few days before Christmas. Number 22, A Lost 45 by Steve Miller, Heart Like a Will. Steve Miller, I remember Steve Miller's first hit record, Living in the USA, back in 1968. But boy, it missed the top 40 by a wide margin. Only got as high as number 94. But I love the sound effects at the end of the record with the cars racing and somebody shouting down or counting down. Well, I love songs that have sound effects in them. That was in 68. And then Going to the Country was another hit by Steve Miller, but it was not very big. It was in 1970. It went to number 69. Then The Joker came out in the fall of 1973, Steve Miller's very first big hit record. Another favorite song by Steve Miller, there's two songs by Steve Miller I really like. Well, one of them was, of course, his first hit record, Living in the USA, which actually was re-released in 1974 as a single, building off of Steve Miller's momentum from The Joker, but only got as high as number 49. But another song that I like by Steve Miller, I highly recommend Wild Mountain Honey. Beautiful record from Fly Like an Eagle. It came out. I remember the local top 40 station here in Tuscaloosa, WTBC. They played that record, that album cut by Steve Miller back in the summer of '76. God, it made my day just listening to that. But let's fast forward to 1981. Circle of Love was the album. It was Steve Miller Band's 11th album. Steve Miller formed the Steve Miller Band back in 1966, fluctuating lineup in that band. And Heart Like a Will, Heart Like a Will was one of 4 or 5 cuts on side 1, but the original version of Circle of Love, the album, on side 2 was one song, long playing, was called Macho City. But anyway, just another little trivia about Steve Miller. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there is a deep connection of sorts between Steve Miller and another artist who became really big in the '70s. Back in the '50s, when Steve Miller was in high school, he formed a band called the Marksmen. Another guy who was in that band, Bob Skaggs. Wow. Steve Miller at number 22 rather, on my fancy playlist. Heart Like a Will.